it's kind of interesting. So we heard from Michael Lombardi, Bill Simmons a little bit earlier. They talked about what they saw from Deshaun Watson against the Titans.
This doesn't look like the stereotypical, like, oh, we traded for this older QB. He's 34 now. He could still, like, he's conceivably physically in his prime. But that was the first time I felt like, oh, that kind of looked like Deshaun. Yeah. Right? Did you feel that way?
The first time. Oh, I thought completely. And he was confident. He was moving around. I thought he really was back. Now, I wrote about him this week. I think he misses Will Fuller. I think he needs a down the field guy that makes plays. Remember when he was good with Will Fuller?
Oh, yeah.
Will Fuller bailed him out a lot of times, and maybe Cooper can be that guy. But I think the pressure being on him, he has to throw the ball more effectively. Yeah. I mean, look, they didn't run the ball. You couldn't run the ball against the Titans. I mean, that was the one thing. People say, well, they don't have Chubb. How are they going to beat the Titans? Well, they weren't running the ball with Chubb anyway. The Titans are hard to run the ball on. You got to throw it on the Titans. And you got to prove that, and he did. So that's a huge step. And Baltimore, look, I mean, I know what Minshew had like 44. I mean, it was 1,000 paper cuts, but they were really good. They had 22 third downs in that game in Indianapolis. So they didn't really make an explosive play, but they made a lot. They got a lot of first down. They were in third down quite a bit, which tells you they were holding on to the ball.
And Quincy, that's Deshaun Watson looked pretty good. I was critical of him Monday night, said he needed to play better. He played a lot better.
Yeah, he came out there, and it took him a little while to get 100% going, but they did the thing where they started him out slow, made sure he had a ton of completions. And then once he hit that deep ball to Jerome Ford, I think it calmed a lot of his nerves. Like, I think we forget. It had been a long time since we've seen Deshaun. Like, we had not seen Deshaun have a good football game since he's been a Cleveland Brown. But Deshaun Watson probably hasn't played a good football game that he's felt truly good about in a win since 2019, right? Maybe he got one in 2020, but it's been a long time, right, since he's felt great about a win and great about how he played. It's been a very long time. And when it's been that long of a time and you feel like it should be happening and it's not happening, it's frustrating, and you start to press and you start to overthink. You just need a good game, right? Like that's really what he needed, was just a good game. He needed that performance. I think that will help relax him, help him play the brand of football that we've seen him play before that got him to 3 Pro Bowls.
Yeah, and he mentions Will Fuller. You got 3 guys that could end up. I don't necessarily know if Cooper can be Will Fuller. Elijah Moore can be Will Fuller. Marquise Goodwin can be Will Fuller. Both of them can be better than Will Fuller. That's the reason you go and you get Elijah Moore and Marquise Goodwin.
Yeah, and it's going to take some time to get the chemistry right. It's going to take some time to get those opportunities synced up, right, to make sure that you can get a guy open. There were a couple of times where they had some opportunities to do that in Cincinnati. They couldn't do it because of the weather. It was really throwing the ball placement off. But there's going to be opportunities for that. Not going to be every game, but there's going to be opportunities. And there's also going to be opportunities for them 50-50 balls on the sideline. I think they did a good job adjusting this week, making sure that when they do run those routes, they have it be the bigger receivers in Donovan Peoples-Jones and Amari Cooper, because you'll remember versus Pittsburgh, they were trying to do that to Elijah Moore, and Elijah Moore just wasn't long enough to get his feet in bounds on some of those.